everybody if they've got any questions. And if you do at that point, you can let me know.
Jury issue?
All right, we need juror number 387.
There's a juror
out,
issue.
please. Yes.
Juror 387.
No, what? Not filmed, it can be like audio recorded, but not filmed. I mean, you can't film the juror. You can film the rest of us if you want to. I think you stand even if it's just one juror.
Okay, so the defense is standing, but the state is not. Okay, there we go, they are.
Hey, if you could just grab a seat. I got
On the
a couple
witness
of
stand?
questions. So I know that earlier this week, your employer reached out to you and inquired whether this this trial that you're on was over. And eventually just said, okay, just send me the next juror excuse note. And I have been in contact with the employer to find out exactly what got said. And so she shared with me y'all's text chain about that. And essentially she says, she just asks, are you still on jury duty? And you say yes. And you ask if everything's okay. And she says, yes, your teammate came in asking which trial you were a juror for and that a specific trial was over. And your response was, everybody and their mama keeps saying that. So what we would like to find out is what anybody might have communicated to you. And I know sometimes you cannot help if people just come up and blurt something out, and hopefully to say, I can't talk about the trial, but what has anybody communicated to you about? And you know that we started with 6 and we now have 2, and I instructed you,
Age is leading.
don't worry about the reasons for, but has anybody communicated anything to you? And if so, what?
More so the decrease of the defense.
Okay,
That's been most of the communication where people assume I wasn't here this week.
okay, all right. And let me ask you one more thing, and then she, after you say that, she says, well, that's the reason I'm reaching out. And you said he was one of 6 who are finishing the trial. Who do you mean by he?
The communication when I got it was more so specific to say who wasn't here anymore and why they assumed the case was over.
And who would you have gotten that communication
The
from?
teammate called. The teammate that made it
Oh.
to her.
Okay.
Called to specify what she meant. I didn't call her, she called me.
Okay, and what did she communicate to you? Just that,
Williams wasn't here.
okay. And did she say anything other than Williams isn't a part of the trial anymore?
No.
Okay,
Everyone assumed him not being here to trial.
meant the trial was over with. Okay, and do you recall the instruction I gave you on Monday, you and the rest of the jury on Monday morning, to essentially not speculate about any reasons why, and that shouldn't have any impact on your verdict or your deliberations?
Because the communication with staff was just trying to figure out how we were supposed to address it.
Okay, yeah, and I mean, you haven't done anything wrong, we just have to figure out, because obviously y'all are supposed to only consider the case based on the evidence and the information you get from here in the courtroom. So just want to make sure that you are able to, I know this communication came after my instruction, so are you still able to follow that instruction?
Yes.
Okay, Great, perfect. I'll excuse you back to the jury room. We'll have all of y'all out in just a sec.
She wants to go to the finish line. She wants to go all the way to the end. I think this is good for the defense. I think this is good for the defense.
Okay. Anything
Yeah,
anybody wants
this is
to
where
put on the
I'm.
record
My
after
read.
that?
Your Honor, given that she didn't indicate, as the court said it was looking to hear, I don't suppose so.
No.
Yes.
Mr. Sharp?
We have to still, we're fine and ready to continue forward.
Okay. And Mr. Weinstein?
No issues for Mr. Kendrick.
Okay, great. Then let's get the state's next witness and we'll get the jury out.
All right, guys. So we'll skip this jury thing, but especially if you